Joining us now to discuss the matter further, from Newsmax New York, Adam Thompson, attorney and radio show host. Adam, we thank you very much for spending some time with us on America's Forum.
Always a pleasure. Thanks for having me back.
Adam, last night is being called one of the most intense since the conflict began. Hamas militants used tunnels again to gain entry into Israel. Those tunnels, Prime Minister Netanyahu says, they remain the major target right now.
That's the big issue now. I mean, the missiles being fired into the thousands now is just absurd to begin with. But the fact that they discovered over 30 different tunnels that come straight into Israel, that they're moving supplies, arms, soldiers to initiate attacks upon Israeli citizens is really the big problem here. And it seems it's being overlooked in all the discussions that you hear involving the United States and Kerry and the UN trying to negotiate a broker a deal. It seems that stopping these missiles from coming into Israel and putting an end to the use of the tunnels and destroying them always seems to get lost in the mix. And I don't know how that's even possible, because when you're being attacked, and that's what Israel is being attacked by a terrorist organization, how this isn't the main discussion on the table is beside me. I have no idea how this is being missed.
Well, it alludes to the fact that there is a PR battle being fought, and Israel, in the courtroom of world opinion, apparently is losing that battle. Why do you think that is?
I think that is, first and foremost, the U.S., who obviously should be Israel's biggest supporter and biggest ally, isn't stepping up to the plate. When you have Secretary of State Kerry coming forward and offering a ceasefire where the proposal is basically a blueprint that was drafted and designed by Hamas and looks like it was just turned over for him to regurgitate to the public, that's a big problem. The U.S. needs to come out, and when I say the U.S., we're talking Obama needs to make a very powerful statement, not something ambiguous, not something where he's beating around the bush, which has been pretty much the protocol so far, but he has to say Hamas is a terrorist organization. The UN recognizes it as such. America recognizes it as such. The European Union recognizes it as such. And being a terrorist organization, we're going to stand behind Israel, a free country that recognizes and respects all religions, all different types of gender and sexual orientations, which Hamas does not. We should be supporting a free country, and we're not taking that big step, making that big statement. And it's sending mixed signals around the world. I mean, you look at a graph on what's going on worldwide in France and other free democratic countries where thousands upon thousands are protesting against Israel, which is basically just a victim being attacked by a terrorist group. It's mind-boggling.
Well, one of the mind-boggling stories is that one that featured a hospital in Gaza that apparently was hit, and in there 9 children who were killed or injured. Israel says they have proof the attack was actually from a misfired rocket from Gaza. Why can Israel not get that message out?
Because they can't get a message out that the mainstream media doesn't want to get out. If the U.S. is trying to pressure Israel into accepting ceasefire terms that they don't want because their security will be put at risk, then they're going to keep putting pressure on Israel through worldwide opinion by not getting stories out there. So if all these media branches get together, the BBC, the mainstream media here in the United States, and they only print certain types of stories, I mean, you pick up the Huffington Press, I don't know what's going on over there, because every story is almost anti-Israel, as if Hamas is this holier-than-thou sainthood group that's doing nothing wrong. So, you know, the message has to be changed. The dialogue, the narrative has to change. The real story has to get out. I mean, the proof is there that this hospital was attacked by Hamas with a misfired missile. Why isn't that story out there? If it's factual, it should be told, but it's not being told. So what's the agenda behind that? The agenda can only be to pressure Israel to stop going forward, to remove Hamas, to protect the citizens, and to push a different agenda, which is basically giving Hamas what they want to get this whole thing resolved. And that can't happen. It just can't. You cannot let a terrorist organization win over a free country that's just trying to defend itself. The message sent by that is catastrophically wrong.
Adam, there is an exchange that we have played on our air in our program that is worth repeating. It features the Israeli ambassador to the United States in a heated exchange with Aaron Burnett of CNN. This comes to us courtesy of our friends at Newsbusters. We'll take another look at it, and I'd like to get your reaction to it. Here it comes.
Do you not think that it's relevant to report on CNN that the Secretary General of the United Nations yesterday warned against the use of UN schools and shelter for rocket missile depots of Hamas?
And Ambassador, it is relevant. And let me ask you this, because of what you said.
But Aaron, I've been listening for 2 hours of reports on CNN. I have seen split screens, horrible pictures that any decent human being would be horrified by. I have not heard a single person say what I just said to you now. And I think that that does a disservice to your viewers.
So that was Ron Dermer, the Israeli ambassador to the United States, filing a little more than a diplomatic protest with Aaron Burnett's account of what was happening, and indeed with that CNN coverage. Adam, how did you see it?
I saw exactly how he saw it. I loved it. I like that he called out the CNN Aaron Burnett host on the fact that these media outlets are not covering the information correctly and providing the facts.
Do you not think that it's relevant?
Go ahead. That's okay, Adam. Go ahead.
I loved the old quote. Look, everyone's entitled to their own opinion, but you're not entitled to your own facts. Listen, you can interpret facts any way you want, but facts are facts. Get your opinion based on truth at least. And he's bringing the truth out, and he's calling a network anchor on this. If you turn on these stations, you'll see for hours, relentlessly, one-sided coverage of what's going on in Gaza. And truth is not coming out. That's the big problem. And he called it like he saw it, and that's the bottom line.
And we'll have to leave it right there. Adam, we thank you for your insights and analysis very much from Newsmax New York. Now, let me ask you, how do you look at what is transpiring in the Middle East and the media reaction? Why don't you tweet us your comments at Newsmax TV, hashtag America's Forum. There's also newsmaxtv.com/comment. And don't forget Facebook.